Any given tarot deck will consist of minor arcana cards and 22 major arcana cards. And kind of how it sounds, it's the major cards that represent a perhaps stronger energy is a good way to put it. They represent key archetypal moments as part of our growth as we might move through a situation or even a lifetime. It is the 21st card, the card marked 20, that is usually called Judgment. However, some more modern decks might rename this card Reckoning. And how fascinating it is to consider that this is the same word that has been used to describe the 29th degree of any given sign of the zodiac. It has been called a degree of culmination, conclusion, crisis as well. But one thing is for sure, though, as the Renaissance astrologer William Lilly said, he's the author of the legendary, incredibly influential book, Christian Astrology. Well, it was him who said about the 29th degree, the matter has been decided. What happens then when we have a solar eclipse? Not just the fact that it's at this very important anaretic degree, the 29th degree of the sign that it finds itself in, but also it is this eclipse that is having huge conversations with really all the big power players of the zodiac. They are all communicating in powerful ways with this eclipse. Well, it tends to represent a time that is deeply consequential. A time that does bring with it, yes, some sense of closure or culmination, but it's a solar eclipse, which says new beginnings. We may not necessarily have a choice in what it is that desires to begin or begin again. However, we will get a whole other perspective, and we will get this sense of powerful forces at play. Its time has come, our time has come to now start some other chapter in our lives. And that other chapter is about living more fully. It's about being present for our lives that much more fully. But in order to do so, we might first need to recognize where that hasn't been the case, whether it's because of our fears, our uncertainties, or the stories that we tell ourselves, or the ways in which we waste our energy and we waste our days. The reckoning just might be being honest with ourselves. And from a place of self-honesty, well, that just might change everything for us. The eclipse at 29 degrees of Virgo takes place on September 1st, Sunday in the Americas, or Monday the 22nd in the rest of the world. And it is quite the game changer of an energy. Now, how this eclipse energy will speak to you depends on your sun, moon, and rising signs. Take all three into consideration. Synthesize the information to make it unique to you. And there's lots more horoscopes available right now over on my YouTube channel, Nadiya_Shah, and in the superstar space at thefutureismagical.com. Aries, clients, customers, coworkers, immediate supervisors are covered here as well. And it is these types of people who are, well, they're going to be a surprise a minute, if not a shock a minute. Now, for some, it's going to feel as if one of these people who's really not a boss of you is acting like the boss of you. But the great thing is that it is meant to help you to tap into your power. For some Aries, they might experience some health challenges at this time. Rest can go a really long way. But the energy here is designed to help you to understand what it is that you might need to take better care of you. With that lens towards whatever happens, well, you're that much more empowered to make meaningful changes that very likely benefit you very quickly. Taurus, flirtation, romance, and what the heart is truly wanting. Many a Taurian is going to be getting their flirt on at this time. And where you're enjoying it, that's a great thing, but know that it is flirtation that has this ability to facilitate a deeper, more profound understanding and change within you now. For all that, though, this part of the sky also has to do with creative endeavors, and getting clear with yourself about what it is that's going to make you happy. In an instant, you're going to see the answer that likely is so obvious. It's been right there all along. You just weren't ready to acknowledge it. But now that you do, it is a game changer and will ultimately put you on a pathway towards a life filled with a lot more joy. Gemini, home, the past, your living situation, your family of origin, and your parents in particular, where that applies. Well, all of these areas are going to get a fresh look, seemingly, and in some cases, out of nowhere. And so whether it is that you were hoping for breakthrough news related to a parent in your life, that could happen now. Buying, selling, moving, well, the opportunity to do that could feel like it comes up very quickly. And things have a will of their own to get you to be where it is that you are to be. But I think the most empowering insight here is going to be insights into your past, realizing where it is that perhaps your changed perspective now, well, it frees you. It actually delights you to live that much more in the present today. Cancer, siblings, cousins, neighbors, these people are likely to be a surprise a minute, if not a shock a minute, but ultimately these relationships might go through a key insight or evolution now that is rooted in honesty, but also positivity. There's a sense of breakthrough here, and that could be realizing what's your responsibility and what isn't, what you're going to take on about what they're dishing out and what you're not, but also where it is that real blessings either have been there or now with your insight are being cultivated now. Regardless, though, this part of the sky also has to do with learning, communication, and synchronicity. You finding yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person. It could make all the difference. Now, I'm not promising you that it feels incredible. It might. But I am promising you that the universe is going to set the stage for you to have a deeply meaningful breakthrough now. Leo, money you earn, money you spend, self-love and self-esteem. A whole new understanding of prosperity in a more meta sense might find you, but I think there are going to be a lot of Leos where this energy ends up being really practical. A new financial opportunity opens up, or one comes to an end, an expense comes up, but you can see the advantages to whatever it might be. Now, ultimately, the choices to make are uniquely your own, but as part of this energy, remember, when we have such strong financial energy, the money you need is absolutely there, but you're navigating spiritual lessons along the way towards understanding what and how you will define prosperity uniquely for yourself. Virgo, identity, priorities, and what matters to you most and first. All of it looks completely different in an instant. Now, for some Virgos, this is going to be a fresh start that represents a point of power. For others, it's going to be having to accept where perhaps you don't have power that ends up facilitating a brand new beginning. For others still, I think you're going to see yourself very differently, and either that will inspire you and be a more loving vision, or what you see makes you realize this isn't who you want to be. But also, I think some Virgos are going to say, that's not who I am. Regardless of what your answer is, it is a chance to see yourself in new ways, and as a result, align with a sense of being more authentically you. And that realization could come in an instant. Libra, soul, psyche, spirit, what's happening on those deeper, more unconscious levels might be playing out here and coming to the surface in powerful ways. If blessings show up, chances are it's going to feel like they come up out of nowhere. This is energy of closing karmic ties and karmic blessings, ending karmic chapters, endings that are fortunate, and a feeling that as a result of what ends, you are able to live that much more fully and do all kinds of new things as a result. Regardless of what your answer is, know that you have a lot more to do in this lifetime. Whatever is part of that fulfillment of all there is yet to do, well, it'll be there. And what isn't, this is a time when, whether you realize it's a blessing in the moment or not, it just might exit your life. Scorpio, friendships, group alliances, all of those alliances might look very different in an instant. You seeing a friend, the role of a friend in your life, the effect that they have on you, all of that might look very different very quickly in ways that you really hadn't expected. Now, I would also add, if you are participating in a group, like a professional group endeavor, your role within that group might change, or it could be at this time that you're invited to join some group endeavor. Whether or not that's right for you is going to be up to you to contemplate. But one thing is sure, you are going for what's real and honest and authentic. And where connections provide you with pathways towards it, you're going to be all in. Sagittarius, career, social standing, life purpose, and your understanding of a higher, more loving vision for your life. All of that just opens up to you now. And it opens up in ways that might feel a bit mysterious, but also very exciting. You're very aware of the work that's involved, of the consequences of new opportunities that could find you at this time. But there's also an awareness that real breakthroughs can transpire for you as well if you will do your part. And the universe is going to give you ample opportunity to do just that. Whether it is promotions, new job opportunities, new career-related beginnings, a greater sense of alignment with life purpose. This is an energy of welcoming in something new that feels, in the larger sense, like a blessing. Capricorn, travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, political matters, and the personal beliefs that help you to make sense of the world and guide your life in an instant. All of it might just look very different. So there are going to be some whom, if you are part of some ongoing matter related to one of these institutions, well, this could be a time of a fresh start, a new insight, someone new helping you out, or some decision that leads you forward. Outside of that, though, I think most Capricorns are going to experience this on a level of belief, seeing your political, philosophical, even spiritual or religious beliefs differently in an instant. Now, even if it's hard or even if it feels like you are challenged in some way, ultimately, you find power and strength in the new insights you are finding at this time. Aquarius, profound change, truth, transformation, regeneration, and wealth. For some, it's going to be your attention to matters having to do with a loan, a grant, or benefits you qualify for. So there might be a sense of some very large purchase or a very large sum of money coming in. Regardless, though, you are finding ways to understand wealth, define wealth differently on your own terms, emotional, spiritual, or otherwise. Others out there just might be ready for some big change, some transformative journey that you are fully embracing now. Pisces, love, partnership of all kinds. All of that is highlighted here, and all of this amazing energy that has to do with new beginnings, fresh insights, and a whole lot of power. Well, it shows up for you either in terms of new people that you're meeting to partner with in business, in love, or otherwise, or within established alliances as well. Now, where it comes to established bonds, there has to be a feeling of a fresh start. And if it is that you are open to meeting someone new, I would go so far as to say someone will be there, at the very least, to help you to understand where you are in love and how you feel about it. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.